Alright guys, the Solana rotation feels imminent, but is it here yet? That's the question. Stick around to find out, and I'll also cover some key setups I'm watching towards the end of the video. But before I do that, my name is Paradise. I'm a price action and momentum trader in the Mars High Club. Link in the description if you want to check that out. Also, before we move on, make sure to hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you can be notified of all future videos. Alright, so before we cover Sol, we're going to go over BTC quickly, just because it's the chart we've been watching together in the past videos. You can see we did indeed reclaim that range low at 112k, and we've obviously found some rejection within that. Now, we're just chopping through it at the moment. You can see this line here, this white line is the 112k level. You can see we came up, we clipped the H4 Noodle. We didn't quite get up to the value area or the VWAP, which I was discussing before rejecting, and now we're trending back down under it. So really, I think we're in for some sort of chop period here. We probably just chop between these two levels. Maybe we come down and revisit 109k again into that daily demand. But really, I'm looking for right now is just for us to hold this. The weekly is still my main point of focus for BTC. If you're ever sort of struggling with analysis, just zoom out and see where you're at. We're still printing an SFP as it stands. We've got a few days to the weekly close, but that's all we want to see. Once again, I'm looking for that 104k level, this weekly demand. It's a daily FEG and it is the weekly noodle. ETH BTC, you can see also on this, we are just chopping. If we're just chopping on ETH BTC, that means both ETH and BTC are in a range on the 4 hour, which is what we're watching right now. Flicking across to ETH, we're just seeing the same pattern here. We basically reclaimed that key level that I mentioned last week at 45.30, and we deviated and we're now trading back below it. So I actually cut and took TP3 on my trade that I took from down here before the breakout. TP'd some into the highs, TP'd some when we lost the high on the second sweep. Now I've just TP'd the third smaller stack on losing that key level. So once again, ETH BTC just ranging. Where does our focus go? Well, I think the Solana chart looks very, very good. This is a chart we've covered a couple of times in the past videos. This is a monthly chart. All I'm looking for here is a monthly close that is a few days away above this key resistance level. Now you can see if we go down to the daily chart on this, we have a very clean daily close above that level, which we haven't had since back in January. So I think this is the market you want to pay attention to right now. Obviously, everyone across the timeline is discussing it. This daily close is not the monthly close I'm looking for, but this gives us early breadcrumbs to start paying attention. Now, if we saw ETH BTC was chopping, that's basically a pair chart comparing the relative strength of ETH versus BTC. If it's chopping, obviously they're both in a range, we can start going down the chain to look at other pair charts. Now, once again, another chart I shared on the last show. This is a Sol BTC weekly. You can see we're now printing a deviation as we start getting back above this monthly level. This is a weekly chart, so obviously a couple of days until this closes, but it's looking very good so far. So we can also look at the Sol ETH chart. This is a weekly level over here at 0.039. And you can see we also have that weekly order block down here, which are also bouncing off. So this to me says this is the asset we want to be looking at right now. If Sol is outperforming BTC and it's outperforming ETH, then obviously we need to be putting our money where the attention is in the market. Do I really want to be in BTC or ETH when they're chopping sideways when Sol is outperforming them on both pair charts? Once again, this just shows relative strength. This is Sol versus BTC. They may seem exotic and confusing, but if you've ever looked at the BTC USD chart, that is a pair chart. If it's going up, you want to be in BTC. If it's going down, you want to be in USD. So these pair charts for Solana are no different. You're just comparing the numerator to the denominator. So we've mapped out what we're looking for on Sol. We're looking for the monthly close above that level. I think on the daily or the 4 hour, I'd love to see some sort of retest of this level. We go down to the 4 hour. Obviously, the 4 hour noodle is coming up to that. We obviously have a 4 hour demand in this block here. Anyway, down to 208, and I'll be looking to be a buyer of this. Otherwise, if we close the monthly above that level, I might have to chase if momentum is shown. Now, in terms of beta plays, I actually have my list right here. Basically, nothing's looking that great yet. The only two I've identified as of this morning are Ray and Jupiter. Now, obviously, as decentralized exchanges, they are direct beneficiaries of any Sol volume that comes into the ecosystem. All the transactions go through there. You can expect those coins to push up based on that, especially if volume comes back into on-chain coins. So as I said, Ray looking quite good. This is a monthly level we have closed above. So if we go to the monthly chart, you can see that's looking quite good. The weekly also looking quite good. Now another one I'm watching is Jupiter. It doesn't look as good as Ray to me, and we'll get into why that is in a sec, but you can see it is chopping around this key pivot level and potentially now having a breakout after testing it as support. So we need to pay attention to this, but if we go back to what I was talking about before, this is the Jupe versus Ray chart, and this is the Ray versus Jupe chart. Now you can see, based on these are both weekly charts, which would you want to be in right now? One's in an obvious downtrend, that being Jupiter. If we look at Ray versus Jupiter, you can see it's obviously in an uptrend. This is why I put my money into spot on Ray. But at the end of the day, I think these will both do well. It's just about putting your money into the strongest horse to get the better returns. Now, if we just have a quick flick through the Solana beta charts, you can see nothing is really jumping out. So if we just go to the daily right now, I'm just going to flick through very quickly. So obviously we've identified Sol BTC and Sol ETH as showing strength, which is obviously just Solana doing well. But in terms of the ecos, everything everything's basically in a range still. Now, what you want to be paying attention to is anything above the daily noodle right here. So Jito actually looking quite good. If we go down to Slurf, which is the next one on the list, yeah, this is actually looking not bad as well as it's grinding up the noodle. Then we go to things like Dupe, obviously look good. Things like Fog, Bonk, Mew, all trending under the daily noodle. So not really anything I'm paying attention to. Now, if I just keep flicking through these, nothing is looking that amazing yet. So basically what I'm looking for is that monthly close as stated. And I think some of these will start to pop off. Now, what do I think will pop off? I think things that are showing better structure, so bullish structure and are above the daily noodle are likely to run harder. And I think things that are below it right now, as you see me flicking through, are likely to take a bit longer to play out. So I know everyone's been talking about FARTCOIN lately, but from where I see it right now, yes, we're into a daily demand, but at the same time, we are just being capped by trend. There's no true technical divergences showing up. I mean, this is, momentum shifting, which actually looks quite decent. But in terms of FARTCOIN and anything really right now, if you're looking for the noodle to flip, you also want to see a sort of structure break. So something like this on FARTCOIN right here at around 0.98. A break of that is what you want to see. And this is not just relative to FARTCOIN. You want to see it across any asset. So you want to see that flip of trend, you'll see that break of structure, and that's how you know the volume is returning into these coins. So I know I keep mentioning the Money Noodle indicator. Obviously, it is exclusive to the Mars High Club. Once again, link in the description if you want to get that. We have just published it on WAP officially also. The Mars High Club has been doing very well lately. This is just my chart analysis and setups channel. You can see I've closed out a bunch of my ETH beta trades this morning. So ETH was closed. I took profit on ENA and also have been catching a couple of good runs. That's across all analysts right now. Everyone's doing quite well. You can see the bragging rights channel once again is ticking off. So once again, if you want to check that out, it is the link in the description for the Mars High Club. Before I head off, if you have not subscribed, please make sure to do so and turn on the notification bell. Now with that said, I'm going to leave you there and I'll catch you in a few days. Cheers.